All right, NCEA 2 2019, end of year, Algebra exam, question 1a, part 2. And I've got this equation here. We're going to solve for x. So I'm looking at that, and it's actually quite an involved little one, actually. I'm wondering how much you're going to have to do. Let's get into it, though, and see where we land. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the denominator. I don't want the fractions there. So the way to do that is I'm going to go ahead and add these two things here together. So we'll start with that. So I'm going to end up with an x times an x squared on the bottom. And then over here, I'm going to have a 3 times x plus an x squared times 4. And all that's equal to 5. Now, of course, I've got a whole bunch of x's here, which I really don't want. So let's divide everything by x on this side first. I divide this by x and divide that by x. So I'm left with 3 plus 4x on x squared is equal to 5. Now we can get rid of the denominator, multiply both sides by x squared, multiply that by x squared, multiply that by x squared, which leaves me with, I'll put a dividing line down here, I'm going to have a 4x plus 3 is equal to 5x squared. Now, this is a quadratic, so I'm going to, I'm going to subtract these two from the left and get them over to the right. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides and subtract 3 from both sides. That's going to imply I'm going to have a 5x squared minus 4x minus 3. I could have done it the other way around. I just chose to do this way around because I wanted to have a positive a value. Now, I'm looking at this, and I've got 5 times 3 is 15. And nothing within 15, either 3 times 5 or 1 times 15, will add or subtract together to give a 4 of any sort. So I must be using the quadratic formula to do this. But my quandary here is they haven't given us enough room to actually use the quadratic formula. So I'm imagining they're just going to get us to do it on the calculator. Or you could solve by using completing the square, I suppose. That would do just as well. But again, not much room to do those, so I'm going to assume it's meant to be done on the calculator. Here it is on the calculator, so I'm going to go Menu, and we're going to just go straight to the equation polynomial solver, and I've got a 5, negative 4, and a negative 3. So I've got a 5, a negative 4, and a negative 3. Oops. Oh, what happened then? 5, negative 4. I'm just being too quick with this thing. I've got to go nice and slowly. That is equal to, right, I've got my two solutions. So my first one is either x is equal to, I'm just going to read it straight up here. I've got them on the screen here. So it's going to be 1.27179, 1.27177, and I was going to put ... So x equals, I'm going to put 1.27, I'll put 2 dp, or x equals, and the other one that had there was this one here, which is negative 4.7177, negative 4. Oh no, it was 0.4, sorry, my bad. 0.0. Here we go. All the extra stuff on the page I don't need. So it's negative 0. That's a 1. That's a 2. It's a 2. It's a 7. 0.471 77 ... which is equal to negative 0.47. I'm going to put 2 dp. So they are my two solutions, either this one here or this one here. I'm just writing all over the thing which I need for the next question. Hopefully that makes sense.